everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Agatha, and together we are Got Some Forever. Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We're Got Some and we're glad to come your way again. We want to say thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments on our previous video. We see it and we appreciate you. Thank you for the subscriptions as well. Please keep them coming and just know that we're here for you and there's no us without you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. So today's going to be really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, and I'm excited about what we're talking about today.
Okay.
Are you excited?
I am.
Okay. But before we go into what we're talking about today, I don't know if you have ever thought or if you have ever wondered, what's the big idea about marriage? I mean, why are we Mr. and Mrs.? What's so exciting about wearing a wedding band? Is it really about the euphoria of the dress, the tuxedo, the friends of the bride and groom, all the bedu and all of that? What really is the essence, about marriage?
Okay, I think like you said, what's the essence of marriage? It simply means you're asking what's the purpose, why are we married? Why are we in this? Like we used to say, we are in this together. Yeah, so why are we in marriage? Why are you married? So I think that's what we want to talk about today. And it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about today. And as I thought about that, the scripture that comes to mind is in Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 that says, 2 are better than 1, for they have a good reward for their labor. That's where it says that if one is cold, the other will give, but how can one be warm alone? And if one falls, just paraphrasing. So 2 are better than 1, basically or ultimately, because they have a good reward for their labor. Emphasis on labor.
Okay.
So that scripture coming to mind and then thinking, what's the essence of marriage? It means marriage is labor.
Work, man.
Marriage is work.
Yeah.
So it's beyond Mr. and Mrs. It's beyond the honeymoon, the butterflies in the belly, the date nights and all of that. It is work.
It's beyond the chemicals.
It's work. So I'm like, oh really? Marriage is work?
Marriage is work. A lot of work, man.
Why do you say so?
Okay.
Do you want to build on that?
Okay, since we've said that marriage is work, the idea of marriage is to work. And for me to define or explain more about work simply means any deliberate effort you put in place towards a goal or a vision. So that deliberate, conscious commitment, devotion, energy you put into marriage is work for me. And this work is not just from one person, it's from both parties, from the husband to the wife and from the wife to the husband.
Wow. Awesome. What jumps at me from that idea of marriage being work is the word responsibility.
Okay.
So responsibility is a combination of two words, response and ability. So trying to put that together or trying to make sense out of it, I see marriage as your ability to respond to the demands of being married to your spouse.
Wow.
Just like he said, it's both ways. So the ability or my ability to respond to the demands of being Sam's wife and Sam's ability to respond to the demands of being Agatha's husband, for me is the idea of being married or work or marriage as work. So trust me, you guys, we are working. We're working.
Okay, please tell them that the couple are meant or meant.
Oh yes, true. So we have a family that we really admire and we look up to and we learn from.
Yeah.
And they've been married for 20 something plus 20 plus years.
My God.
And when we met them, our first interface, we're so excited. We're seeing people whose marriage is working, and we believe that there's a lot we can learn. And the wife said, "Oh, how long have you guys been married?" And we told her, and she was like, "Oh, you guys just started work." It came across to us like, no, we're enjoying this thing, we're having fun in this thing, so what's the work?
Yeah.
But you never know until you get in and until you're going. So now we agree that we are working.
Yeah. A lot of work, man. A lot of work.
So, people think that if you say marriage is work, marriage is sweet after all.
True,
There's butterflies in the belly and all of that. So what's the idea behind saying marriage is work?
Okay, let me start by saying that when you come into marriage, the first period of marriage, you're just excited, there's joy, there's fulfillment, all of it. You're enjoying yourself, the honeymoon, the initial stage is just awesome. And this made me to look into the freshman. Yeah.
Okay.
When a freshman goes to college, there's that first week where everything you just want to catch up, you're just excited, I'm in college, I'm in university, freedom, all of it, that joy, that you never know that in the next 4 years, man, you're going to go through a lot of rigors and all. And at the end, when you finish, that same energy, that same joy, that same happiness you have, that you've experienced at the beginning, you also experience at the end of your school year. So the same thing, when you come into marriage, there's a lot of joy, happiness, fulfillment, excitement, but you don't know that there is an idea called work in marriage. Yeah. So when you start working, you now start saying, but I thought it was supposed to be like this. Just the same way the freshman, year 1, year 2, he will start saying, man, I never knew that coming to the university is like this. But over time, just enjoy it.
Can you hear that in the background? That's part of the work. In fact, that's a big part of the work.
Yeah. So I think now, what you just said now will just bring us to the areas
of work in marriage.
My God.
We'll be right back. So we are back from one area of work. You guys didn't to see my husband babysitting duties. Okay, so we're talking about areas of work in marriage. Do you want to go first?
One area that I think there's a lot of work will be done on is the area of self-amplification. I believe you already know yourself, you already know your strengths, your weaknesses. But when your spouse comes into your life, your spouse just help you amplify that strength in your life, because they're going to nurture, pour a lot of water. Just make sure that your strength is being amplified. Yeah, I think that's self-amplification.
Oh, I see. So I just remembered a family that I think will make sense on this point.
Okay.
So I used to know this family before we got married. Now, when they got married, because I was privileged to hear them share their story.
Okay.
When they got married, the man told his wife, "Oh, I like snacks. I like eating snacks, like small chops, cake and all of that." And then she took it upon herself, "Oh, since my husband likes this, I could start doing this for my husband." So it was just part of the family menu.
Wow.
It wasn't really, there was really nothing to it at the point.
So she was just working on that side of
yes,
it.
But over time, she grew into a really big time baker.
Wow.
And she goes for competitions and she wins.
Wow.
She started teaching people how to bake, do confectionaries, basically, and that all started from hey babe, I like this, I think you should make this for me.
Yeah.
So her husband helped bring out that side of her.
Yeah.
So I think that's the self-amplification we're talking about.
Yes, your strength is being maximized or put to use to the best of it.
That's why marrying the right person is very important.
Very key.
Another area of work in marriage is for me is child upbringing.
Okay.
Yeah. you know.
God, plenty work on that matter.
Yeah. It's up to me to help my husband or meet my husband's need in the area of mothering his children, and it's up to him to meet his need or my need in the area of fathering. That was why God brought the female out of the male. And God didn't design us to be asexual.
True.
He had to bring the female out so that she can nurture the seed and mother the seed. And then not mother as in M-U-R-D-E-R, M-O-T-H-T-H-E-R. And then the man has to be the source who will give the seed and the woman will receive. So imagine me giving the seed, incubating the seed, nurturing the seed, or imagine him having the seed, incubating the seed, nurturing the seed. So God knows that I would need a father for my children, and that he will need a mother for his children. So God brought us together to meet that need of mothering your children and meet the need of fathering my children. So they're our children, but we are indebted to one another to play those roles and give an account to God for what we did or how we handled the children.
So I can put it this way, that when I work towards, or whatsoever I do towards meeting the need of our children as the father, is me walking in marriage. Then you doing the same thing for my children, is you walking in marriage. So both of us doing the same thing, we are now making the marriage work.
Exactly. Remember we said they have a reward for their labor. And Psalms 127 also said, children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward. So we can say that children are a reward in marriage, but then also we have to work.
You have to put certain things.
And work on this reward so that it be a worthy reward. I hope it makes sense.
Sure.
So another area you think?
Another area for work in marriage is vision and goal achievement.
Okay.
I would like to use us for example. I had this vision that one day I'll be on a TV. We're going to do certain things concerning family and relationship. So you coming into my life, you've been able to help me. That's work. You've been able to help me to achieve this. So the backstage story, how we talk, we communicate. If you're not putting in that work, I don't think we'll be able to come here and give these people what we're getting. So in marriage, there's that work of meeting the vision and the goals of both parties, not just one person now, of both parties. So I think that's it. An area where
even still relating it to our instance that you shared, one person alone can't be a family. One person can't be a family. So if the assignment is to family life, it takes being in a family to reach out to a family. A tree cannot make a forest. So it takes being in a family, coming together to form the unit of a family, to be able to connect with families. Now, does that mean that as an individual, you have it in you? It's like the seed that needs to be planted to become a tree that births other trees. So as the individual, you do have it in you, but you have to grow to the point where the potential can find expression.
I would like to relate this to the church. The way when you're talking, this just popped up where it says Paul planted, Apollos
watered.
So it just simply means both of them came together to work so that the church will be perfect, and God gave the increase. So that is the work there.
We can go on and on, but these are just to mention a few. So what other areas of work Or what other areas do you think that marriage is work? Now, this
Yes.
is not work in the sense of to scare you away, or
No, no,
like
no.
hard labor kind of work or suffer head kind of work. No, it's profitable work.
True.
So what other areas do you think that marriage is work? So let us know in the comment section.
Yeah.
Areas of reward for this work or this marriage work.
Okay. Remember at the beginning I said when you come into marriage, there's that joy, there's that fulfillment, and all. The same way when you get into school, there's that excitement you get, that freedom you get as a new guy in college. The same joy, the same happiness at the end of it all. You still get that joy when you finish the work of schooling. You get that joy because you are now a graduate. So the same way, even in marriage, while you're working, you can still get the joy, the fulfillment. So one major reward system for work is fulfillment, self-fulfillment. The husband is fulfilled, the wife is fulfilled. They are not just there because they are working, they will now be lamenting. No, at that, when they work, they also get self-fulfilled, they are happy. Yes, I think
Last, you must marry right to enjoy this fulfillment, because if you don't, it has been insightful for me, and there's a whole lot more. There's a whole lot more to this, man. Because sometimes, and it's such a, you don't even know your job description sometimes until you get in, or you think you know. But when you get in, the job description is so wide.
Yes.
There's always more to it.
Mentioning this job description just makes me to come to this point that if you have a mindset that this is what I will do when I get to marriage, or this is who I am, this is my role and all, man, when you get in there, you'll be shocked, because the goal is not to define your role per se. The goal is that both of you put in the work that is needed.
So both of you put in the work that is needed. So there are certain things that you shouldn't say, oh, it's his or it's hers. Both of you put in the work that is needed, so that you can enjoy the reward. I've had a great time today, and I hope you did too. Something is sizzling for the next video. Keep your fingers crossed, stay tuned, and please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Till we come your way again, stay safe. Thanks for watching.
Let's go do some work again, man.
Yes, duty calls. Bye.